America First. Nick Fuentes and Ralph have had a big breakup. Oh, it's so sad, tragic. Cozy numbers are plummeting. Nick is running around. Now, I think the last place we left off with Nicholas Fuentes. Let me see if I've got a picture. Can I put a picture of him up? There we go. Heartbreaking, chat. Now, I'm sure you remember this. This was one of the top relationships of 2022. Two beautiful men in their relationship. It's the modern age. Nobody should feel ashamed. They were meant for each other. Nick was going to be his campaign manager and help Yeezy, going to help Ye become president of these United States of America. Flew out to California is a big deal. Real big leg up for Nicholas. And he needs a leg up because the motherfucker's short. Don't worry, Nick. You'll probably be taller than me by the end of this. It's more of my spinal cord disintegrates. But I'm still taller than your little ass right now, so I'm going to keep those short jokes coming. But there he was with Yeezy. Took an insane black man off his medication and then made him do puppet shows for Alex Jones. Really great for a presidential campaign. I'm sure a genius strategy. Well, it turns out, through all the leaked information that's come out, that Nick basically was hanging out in an Airbnb for like 4 months doing nothing because Kanye fired his ass after making him look like a fucking buffoon in front of the entire world. Who would have thought, huh? Even if he is off his meds and a bit, insane, he probably doesn't like being made fun of by literally everyone and probably thought Nick was primarily responsible for all of that. Now, the wild part of this story is Nick and everybody else treats it like, oh, well, Kanye's a joke now. We don't care about Kanye. You remember Beardson Beardly, the little leprechaun gnome of Cozy and America First? That dude dedicated himself to buying Kanye West gear, shirts and shoes and pants and chains and CDs and everything. It's like a little fangirl. Doesn't do that anymore. Kanye kicked his ass to the curb. Of course, that was the start, not the end for all the bad news for poor little Nick, because Nick had to deal, and I kid you not, with the most terrifying thing you could probably imagine. A time-traveling, allegedly. I should say allegedly, because I don't want Ali Alexander digging my corpse up to sue it at some point in the future. Now, allegedly. This is so fucked up. The Kanye thing implodes. America First has to deal with the fallout. Nick isn't looking too good. It's not looking so great for him. Their numbers are diminishing. He's getting made fun of. So what happens? All this information gets leaked by Milo Yiannopoulos. Now, Milo, who's been in this game forever, somehow snaked them. So Milo gets this dude becomes a part of the Kanye West presidential campaign, makes like $40,000 through billings, gets a bunch of shoulder rubbing, meets a bunch of people. It's looking great for him. And then he bails, right? He dips out before all the negative press just berates and hits Nick. And then once it's done, he pops back in. But Milo, wanting to enjoy, the corpse of America First mounted on his wall, decides that he's going to start a campaign against Ali Alexander, one of Nick's close confidants, somebody that Nick hobnobs with, somebody that does favors for all the AFers, gets them their accounts restored. I don't know exactly what the allure of Ali Alexander is, but, whatever, Ali Akbar, whatever his name is, he's got multiple names. So Milo starts dropping information. Turns out there are numerous allegations from young men saying that Ali Alexander touched them in their no-no naughty square. Uh-oh. Turns out one of them, maybe you, if you've watched streams I've done before, I did a stream where Baked Alaska went on an RV trip. There happened to be somebody named Smiley aboard. And we found out the reason he was named Smiley is because the man has the size of a horse's. He likes to show it off in little short shorts. I know he knows what he's doing. But that's why he's got a big old smile on his face. Well, apparently Smiley interacted with Ali back when he was a kid, like 14, 15 years old. Somebody was looking for pics. Apparently Ali was out there trying to get pics from a lot of young teenage boys, allegedly, based on what Milo Yiannopoulos has posted. Now, you think this would be catastrophic for an organization? You've got a group of people that are trying to be political, trying to raise money, trying to change America and do all this shit. And now you got this dude who's got like 20, I'm not even kidding, like 25 allegations of trying to hit on young boys. Now, you'd think in that situation, Nick or anybody in AF would immediately disavow Ollie Alexander. You would be wrong. No, Nick and everybody else decides to side with them, going as far, I'm not even kidding, Ethan Ralph and Nick Fuentes both decide that they're going to say they were asking for it. That these boys were, and they were asking to be by this Sammy Davis Jr. lookalike who time travels. He talks about time traveling. I should really look that clip up so I can play it for you, because I don't think you appreciate how absolutely insane he is. We'll get the clip. I'll get the clip. I'll play the clip. I'll find the clip. But all you need to know is that Ollie was out there doing all of this and nobody disavowed him, which started an entire thing, a big discussion and a big fracture in the group, because apparently Baked Alaska was friends with Smiley. Got him to go on the kill stream where Ralph basically called him and said he should open an OnlyFans. Really great way to talk to somebody that went through traumatic child abuse. Call him and tell him they were asking for it. You know, AF really shoulder to shoulder on this entire thing. And at this point, I don't think Ollie's even fully been disavowed, because it like seemingly keeps coming up that Nick Fuentes associates with him. Not a good look. Not a good look. Of course, this leads to fallout where Baked Alaska, who's now gone to prison twice, once for the J6 stuff and once for the, was it macing a bouncer? I think he went to like a normal jail for that one. Comes out and finds out nobody in AF wrote him. This leads to fallout. Nobody cared about him. And while he's in jail, Nick Fuentes cancels his Cozy channel, kicks him off. Just throws him to the curb. Of course, he's not the only one. Ralph gets thrown to the curb too. We'll get into that more in a bit. But now they're like bosom buddies again. I guess, you know, they've been through a traumatic experience with one another. They can go down to the FBI building together holding hands, talking about their hatred of Nicholas Fuentes as they turn over state and federal evidence. Oh, can somebody explain to me this? I've seen Jaden, who was a former AFer and a friend of Nick Fuentes, bring this up when he plays a clip. There's a clip of Fuentes outside the Capitol on a loudspeaker telling people to rush the barricades, to push past people and to get in there, inciting the crowd to go do what they did. And Nick gets into no trouble for it. Never charged, nothing happens. But other people, in fact, wasn't it the leader of the Proud Boys that he just got sentenced to, what, 17 years? I'm pretty sure I saw like an old grandma get like a year and a half. Yet somehow Nick's on tape, telling people to rush the barricades, to fight security, to get in there. Nothing happens to him. A little bit suspect. Got me thinking a little, got the noggin jogging a little bit. What's going on here? What's going on here with this AF organization that seemingly can be involved with illegal acts where the leader never gets in trouble, and he's shoulder to shoulder with an alleged who, I guess, seemingly like 25 groypers, and nobody cares. They blame the groypers. Oh, you were asking for it, kid. You deserved it. And yet, somehow, this is the person that's going to save the future of, the future of America. This guy that looks like he wants to kiss Kanye West on the lips. Give me a kiss. Right on the lips. I don't know. I'm starting to get a feeling that maybe, this is a fucking honeypot. Chat, does it make you think a little bit? Does it make you think a little bit? Maybe this is a fucking honeypot organization? A little bit of a honeypot organization doing some things they shouldn't be doing? Now, I don't want to make it seem like it's just Nick out there doing terrible things and saying terrible things. Well, and again, we'll get to the big part of the Ralph stream, but one of the things you need to know about Ralph is he went like on a 6-month bender, and this bender happened to coincide with around the time Chud Buds got, hacked. And one of the things that happened to Claire, the owner, is her nudes were found. They got on her computer. They ratted it, essentially. They got backdoor access to her computer, found some pictures on her computer, or maybe it was her phone, that she'd sent her husband. And I want you to listen. Again, this is kind of during the buildup to Milo Yiannopoulos talking about how America First has a problem. Listen to what Ralph says should be done with the pictures of this woman. Just because I think people forget this particular clip, so I think it's good, just a refresher.
By the way, I completely avow sending classmates of her kids all of her pictures, if that's legal. Make them then known. Don't send them directly, but just make them known. I don't think you can send them directly. I think that's illegal.
So Ethan Ralph, I want you to understand what he's fucking suggesting here, because there's another clip where he doubles down on this and says, in fact, he definitely wants to do this. He wants to take pictures and send them to children. He wants to send pictures to school children, not just her children, but her classmates, their classmates. He wants to send pictures to preteen children in elementary school as a scandal's going on. As Ali Alexander's being accused of molesting groypers, Ethan gets on there and says, let's start sending to kids. I want you to do my bidding. Get out there and do my bidding. I'm just going to replay it because I don't, you hear that and you're like, oh, did he really say that?
By the way, I completely avow sending classmates of her kids all of her pictures if that's legal. Make them then known. Don't send them directly, but just make them known. I don't think you can send them directly. I think that's illegal.
You think that's illegal? No, I could probably tell you that's horrifically illegal. I think that's about as illegal gets. Now I almost want to give him some benefit of the doubt, because at this point he was like liquid Xanax. He was like on 5 bajillion milligrams of the shit and about 4,000 Modelo's. Were coursing. He was more Modelo than blood pumping through him at this point. So you'd think, okay, maybe he's so fucked up in goofball land, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But no, he doubles down on it. So you've got this organization, again, because Ralph at the time was still part of Cozy. You could say he's not part of AF, but he's definitely part of Cozy. He's friends with Nick. And they've got this, I think Ali Alexander's like 30 or 40. This 30 or 40-year-old man constantly hitting on teenage boys, allegedly, according to Milo Yiannopoulos. Again, allegedlys are everywhere here. Doing that. And then this woman has her leak. And you've got another person at Cozy, not just blaming victims of Ali Alexander, saying they deserved it, they were that wanted it, but also saying that you should start sending out to classmates, not even people related to this woman, just random children at the school. You should start sending those out to. Now, I don't know, we've seen Ralph kind of descend in his Zanny spiral, which took place for about 6 months on the internet after I left, which would have been great content, let me tell you. But, he got this, you can kind of see him here. He's a little spooked. I like to call this Zanny fever. This is the ghost of Modelo's are haunting him. He doesn't really, he's looking around. He's checking the perimeter. Let's one more time. Oh, where are this? Oh, I heard something. What is that? Is that the police? Does Modelo's are talking to me? I don't know what's going on. He's a little spooked. I'd be a little spooked too if I was advocating creating a group of, advocating that people essentially engage in probably one of the most illegal acts they could that will get you beaten to death in prison. It's not really high up on the popularity list. What are you in for? Murder. How about you? Oh, I stole some shit. How about you? Oh, sex stuff related to kids. It's a great way to get killed and shanked in jail. But of course, good old Ralph, he doesn't care. He's got that heat. Look at him. He goes, I ain't scared, bitch. Memphis 10. Oh, all sorts of crazy shit going on with our boy. What has Ralph been up to? Well, he went into a bit of a spiral, had a little bit of a domestic with his family. His wife left him, took the kid. This is the second time this has happened. Went on a Zanny spree. Long-lasting, 6-month-long, 7-month-long Zanny spree of Modelo's and Zannies. Finally culminating in Nick Fuentes saying, I don't want your drunk ass showing up at one of my events and embarrassing me. And that's when the war started. And what war are we talking about? Well, of course, it's the Ethan Ralph versus Nick Fuentes war that we all knew was going to happen. We knew eventually it had to happen. Now you got Nick out there. He's trying to recreate his image right at the height of this. This happened within the last few months. He's out there. He's doing stuff. he keeps going on different shows, and it's not working out super well for him, because you've got to understand, every time Nick Fuentes goes on to a new podcast, whether that's Sneeko or Pearly Things or Fit and Fitness or whatever the fuck they're called, every time he goes on, there's some. What does that mean, Nick? What did you mean when you told people that having with women was gay? He's struggling through it. There's nothing funnier than looking at Nick Fuentes surrounded by like a 6 or 7 fucking 6'5" black guys and a bunch of black women all looking, just staring at him as he tries to explain his political beliefs and talk about how having with women is. So Nick's out there, he's doing his thing. He wants to hold new events. And you got Ralph, who is just so fucked up he's incoherent. I mean, it's just disaster time for Ralph. It was a really rough 6 or 7 months. And Nick sends him a message, hey, Rage Pig, don't fuck my event up. Could you try not to vomit and shit yourself? That would be a great help, please, for the love of Christ. It's so fucking embarrassing knowing you. Could you just not fucking embarrass me? And Ralph, being the reasonable person that he is, declares total fucking war. It's a against America First. And he offers something, what did he call it? Alog Amnesty? Which basically means stop picking on me. He he put out an offer. What a great offer. Hey, stop picking on me. You guys are being real mean. Stop picking on me. If you can stop picking on me, I'll stop threatening to everyone and dox everyone. And this lasted 2 weeks, 3 weeks before it went down the shithole. Before he's popping Xannies and drinking again and starting fights with everybody. And he went after Avon Chartsdale, which was like his biggest donator. This guy would religiously donate to Ralph. Defended him, kissed his ass. Then he goes on stream and basically says, I know what you look like. I know where you live. I'm going to post pictures of you. I'm going to post your name. I'm just going to fuck with you on a personal level. It's a big old fucking spiral. And poor Ralph, he's kind of out there on his own now. And I don't mean just like domestically. I mean, whatever. His personal relationship didn't work out. The wife took the kid. I mean, like co-host wise. He's got there's nobody left. They've all kind of fucking disappeared. He's driven them all off. Now he's literally left with people that used to fuck with him and troll him are the only people that come on his show. And I'm pretty sure they're just seeing how long it's going to take to drive him over the edge. It's like a long con. AF is pretty much a joke at this point, known for being full of Ethan Ralph's Live has devolved into gutter trash. Bibble is run for the hill. Nick Fuentes basically is a laughing stock. Power Chat's kind of imploding as Louise and Baked. I don't know what they're doing with it. All I know is I keep seeing streams of them kissing. Man, there's something really weird with America First. It's like a beard. It's like a beard for who talk about being virtuous Catholics and conservatives and wanting to fix America, but really they just want to have really steamy hot with each other, and they just can't cope with the fact that that's what they're into. Live your best life, boys. Come on. What are we worried about here? It's time to embrace it. You're all really, really, and we all know it, and that's okay. Nobody's judging you for it. Louise, Baked, Beardson, Nick Fuentes, Dalton, our little dancing Dalton, the Michael Jackson impersonator, Wurzelroot, even Ralph, who had his own leak happen, where they found a letter that he had addressed to a man, a love letter, talking about a 4-year relationship. Let's put the cards on the table, boys. Just watching it devolve, because now if you go over to Cozy TV, you're going to get, I don't know, like 100 viewers watching shit. Nobody's watching anything over there anymore. You're going to watch Wurzelroot get fatter. You watch Beardson get shorter. You're going to watch Nick get, what's the appeal? What are you watching for? Not a lot going on. And Ralph is spun off onto his own thing over on Rumble, trying to do the Alog Amnesty, but it blew up in his face kind of, because now he's going after everybody once again. I don't get it. I thought the whole point was he was going to go after AF, but then started fighting with the A-logs once again. Truce lasted a whole fucking day and a half. Really good. Really fun. I don't know, man. I know it's rough. It's a weird situation, but you got that going on. So the Sektur is just, it's very weird. I think Ralph is kind of on his last legs, I guess. Metaphorically speaking, I mean, I don't know where he goes from here. He's talking about like moving again, maybe. Is he going to go to Cuba? Is he heading to Cuba, maybe? I don't know. Is he going to go to some South American country? Maybe. Oh, it looks like Knitter might be working. We might be able to actually get the clip of Ralph reading his I'm So Sad poetry. Chat, would you like to hear his I'm So Sad poetry? Our boy Ethan and his slam poetry. Now, I don't know what could compel a man to ever actually read this out loud, as embarrassing as this is, but apparently he did. It's not too long. It's just a minute and 40 seconds over on Kinoshay's, well, I was going to say Knitter account, his Twitter account, if you want to watch it later on, pulled from one of his streams he did recently. It's a little bit of slam poetry, a little sad poetry. I want you to get your mindset mentally prepared for this, chat. Remember back when you were like 12 and you had a crush on somebody, but they didn't like you back? So you got really sad and you had all these things you wanted to say, but of course you had common sense, so you never wrote them down and gave them to that person? Well, Ralph decided, here's a good idea. I'm going to read this in front of an audience that likes to fuck with me. I'm going to read my sad preteen poetry out to the audience. Now, I'm not sure, is this Ode to Piggy? I'm not sure what the name of the fucking poem is, but we're going to listen to some of it. So prepare yourself. Put yourself in that mindset, heartbroken 12-year-old. I'll make sure I've got the audio ready to go for desktop. There we go. Let's listen to this. This is the master of the written word. If you remember back to when Ralph and I first had our falling out, he wrote some really hard-hitting articles, smoking the fire or some shit about me that we read on stream. So this is coming from that literary genius. Here we go. Again, I don't know the name of the poem, but he's going to read it for us.
This is the poem I wrote to my wife about a month ago.
This is the, okay, hopefully the audio is coming in clear for you. This is the poem he wrote to his wife about a month ago.
I said, I don't know what to do or what to say. I think about you every second of the day. If I should die before I wake, I pray to God your life be great.
Woo! Oh, God. I got some tears in my eyes here, guys. Oh, you know, nearly dying didn't make me cry like a bitch, but this is some heartrending stuff. Roses are red, violets are blue. I love you, bish. I don't want to divorce you. The ground is flat, the sky is high. I don't got nothing to rhyme with that. I'm just so sad. Is that about the level we're at here, Ralph?
We must be separate for a while, but all I want is you to smile. Our love was great and grand and rough, but I know it made you tough.
This is fucking awful.
I never want to let you go. Life has told me I have to, though. I really, really don't want to listen. The ring you wear, I hope still glistens.
No, you know what? We're going to rewrite some of this. Let's go back.
I never want to let you go. Life has told me I have to, though. I really, really don't want to listen.
I like the way you look when my makes you glisten. Is that romantic? Did that rhymed, right? That was alliterate enough for a horse?
The ring you wear, I hope still glistens. And if it already has been shed, I hope you'll remember when I'm dead.
That Nick Fuentes is a Fed.
That I really, really loved you so. I just didn't always know how to show.
Bish.
And that was the poem that I wrote there.
No wonder she left you on read. Dude, I want to put you on read. What the fuck? What was that? That was like a preteen. That's not even a fully functional child wrote that, Ralph. What the fuck am I listening to? That's like, that's, you make Hallmark writers seem like literary giants with that shit. I could buy a card for $1 that's better at what you're attempting to do. Ralph, what is this? We need to really analyze this a little more.
This is the poem I wrote to my wife.
Could you imagine, like, you're like his wife, and you've fled the country when he wasn't around, and taken your child with you, and this just pops in your inbox.
About a month ago.
He's like, no, baby, I'm off the drugs and the drink, and this pops in your inbox.
I said, I don't know what to do or what to say.
I eat every day.
I think about you every second of the day. If I should die before I wake, I pray to God your life be great.
Bish! He needs to add more in there.
We must be separate for a while, but all I want is you to...
Oh, no, I got it. I got a perfect follow-up line for that. Hold on.
Before I wake, I pray to God your life be great.
It's coming.
We must be separate for a while.
Ali Alexander is most definitely allegedly.
But all I want is you to smile. Our love was great and grand and rough.
But you never stopped laughing when you saw me in the buff. 4 ain't nothing to be ashamed of, Memphis 10.
But I know it made you tough. I never want to let you go.
That's why I locked you in the basement. I'm coming for you. Well, that doesn't really rhyme. It's just anger seeping out.
Life has told me I have to, though. I really, really don't want to listen. The ring you wear, I hope still glistens. And if it already has been shed,
I'll you in my mother's bed. The end. That's how he closes it out. Sincerely,
I hope
Ralph.
you'll remember when I'm dead that I really, really loved you so.
Even though you're a horse-faced. See, it's just, they just pop off. They just pop. I should have been a quote maker like Aloise from Reddit. Now, I made a lot of fun of fucking Dick Masterson's knees exploding. So
If
God knows what's going to happen
this
next.
is your last.
My kneecaps are going to
last
fucking
stream.
just balloon
And you're
out
doing
in little
this.
nuclear implosions. They're going to take out the neighborhood. Because that's the irony that you get when you run your fucking mouth, Jimmy. When you run your dirty fucking mouth. Oh, what have we not covered? Got over some stuff. Talking
Joe
about
the
some fun
Boomer's better
stuff.
than this. For real.
Okay.
Video game.
All right. So this guy, he could have done something interesting. He could have had something interesting to say. He could have shown some love to all the people. He could have shared something insightful about what it's like to be on death's door. He could have done it in a fun way. I don't mean he has to be all solemn. He could have done something. There's a million really compelling and interesting, like, make them, leave them wanting more type of things that he could have done. Is he really just an ankle deep, like, full-blown dumbass shitlord? Is that all it was? Is that just, I mean, that's just all he ever was? Why is he a big deal? I don't get it. Is it just because he was here from the beginning? Is that all it was? Is he was just, there was some beginning guys and he's the one who stuck around, and he was like the best of those fucking losers who were remarking on video games years ago? He trolled early and funny. Okay, making fun of. He's just a known commodity. Okay. Ralph unironically better. Oh, Ralph's way better. It's post-ironic. It's not even, though. It's like... I mean, I guess, but... I didn't know this guy just sucked so bad. Like I said, I've just never really listened to him. Maybe there were some streams that people love him for, like, you know, you do a few hundred and you have some good ones and people like, oh, that was a good one. And then the community liked it, and there's an ongoing conversation about certain types of people or something, and it's a place where everybody hangs out, and maybe he just doesn't change, so he's sort of like dependable. You always get the same kind of yuck, 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 yuck. Talks to chat, and everybody's like, yeah, this is where we vibe. But then when he comes to do a show, it's like, who is this guy, though? This guy sucks. Yeah, Nick was right. Dude, if I had to choose between Metokur and Cozy, I'd go back. I don't give a fuck. Okay. It's all a LARP, and it's full of fat manlets. And I'm not saying this is too much. This was a nightmare. I'd rather watch Beardson. Beardson's boring, but at least he's not as annoying. I'd rather be bored than annoyed. And yeah, of course, you know, Ralph is way better. Ralph doesn't suck at streaming. Ralph is just a maniac. He's doing a live space. Can I get in?
Really mean to people.
Well, I'm nice.
But
the guy's just not funny. He's just not funny. He's very strange, and you know, what he's talking about. I wrote a poem for my wife. We got your poetry right now. It's all over my timeline. Oh, I wrote a poem to my wife to try to win her back.
Why does he say poem?
Wow!
I read
How
a
embarrassing!
poem.
How embarrassing that I value my marriage and
so
my
much that I wrote a
family
poem.
enough that I might try to write a poem to get them back.
Poem.
Actually, you're embarrassing. Actually, you're embarrassing because you're a fake who married a fucking and who believes nothing he actually says. You're a nihilist. You're a fucking atheist. And there's nothing you've ever said that means anything. You have no morals.
You stole
have
my
no
fucking
principles, and you have no core beliefs.
Real,
so you have a lot of nerve.
real
talking,
professional
my poem,
boxing.
You know, my poem was pretty good, actually. It's much better than
My
your poetry. Let's put it that way.
Real tapes from my real
And,
boxing career.
You know, I'm not ashamed of
And
that.
you're a
I read
fucking
it on
piece of
air.
shit.
Nick. Like I didn't. That wasn't hidden. I read it on air because I'm real. I'm not like
Olympics.
you. I don't sit in the anime dungeon and put on a false facade and do all this bullshit. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and people can laugh and people can like and they can do whatever. But I'm not a fake fuck like you. And it was put to you to put me on this stream right now because everybody in this chat, everybody in your stream wants me on that show. Period. And you won't do it because you know you'll get owned.
That's true.
And
dude, what in the fuck?
It's pathetic. Like why wouldn't you do that other than you being a content? I guarantee you, everyone to a man, show a signal here in the chat. Everyone to a man would like me versus Metokur right now. Other than what other gay shit he's doing, playing fucking like anime remixes. Like, the shit is boring. The shit is corny. The shit is. Everybody to a man would rather have me go at him right fucking now. And he won't do it because he's a coward. And, you know, for the longest time, I actually thought he was dying.
But the joke is that you care about that. Like, why do you give a fuck about, I want to go at Metokur.
People don't like Mersh. But just like Mersh said, he would be back. He would be back within 6 to 8 months. to collect a few more shekels. I don't believe the medical reports he put out. I think he's a liar. I think he's a piece of shit. I think his wife's a piece of shit.
I don't get it. Like, if Jim doesn't care about coming on and putting on a shitty show like he's doing right now, it's objectively bad. Why doesn't he just do that all the time? Wouldn't he make more money if he did more of those shows? He clearly doesn't care. It's not like a legacy show, or he's not like doing a special. He's just coming on with like no prep and no quality. He's just talking about Peppa Pig or whatever the fuck that was, and Mersh. This isn't like some sort of like final. There's nothing cool. Why is he doing it? And if he doesn't care about making it cool, what? Just do more of them. You'll make more money.
Before he sold it, who lied about everything under the sun. You promoted a flamenco to be my replacement. You saw how that worked out. You're over the hill. And if you had any sense, you would go away. Because each stream you do shows just how busted you are. And I'm ready, willing,
I'll give
and
it my
waiting
best
to go on there and wreck your shit right now.
Put that.
And I know you won't do that because, I mean, you're a coward.
That came out. There's your update stream. 2 hours of nonsense.
I'm here right now.
I know. I did to the Ali Alexander time travel.
Of course, so I figured.
I'm very sorry about that.
I'm not very experienced with
for those
Twitter
of you who came out. There's your update.
So
that was it. 2 hours.
I can only do what I can do. I tried to start one from my own account, but it just has me as a listener, and I really don't know how to change that.
Amazing.
Invite to speak. Yeah, well, Elon said that I would be able to do that, but apparently Elon lied. Or it's not ready yet, one or the other. But the fact that he would spend his whole show on trying to settle a score with me when I already put it to bed, I admitted my faults. But this is a guy who could never admit his faults, ever. Because he thinks his shit don't stink. And it does. And, it's not my bag to sit around and watch, completely obese people f*** each other and think that's funny. I mean, not fat or slightly obese like me. I mean, 400 or 500 pounds. That was him. That was, Andrew. Those were other people who thought that was the height of comedy. You've lost it a long time ago, Jim. And I hope you play this on your stream because you won't let me on there. But I think everybody with any sense in their brain who's not just like a deluded weeb knows that he has nothing left. He has nothing left. I don't believe he's sick. I hope he is, though.
A deluded weeb?
I really hope he is. Because as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't deserve to live any longer. So I do hope that's the truth, but I don't believe it. And
you guys are right. He sounds really.
I wasn't even listening to his stream. I was too busy, trying to negotiate something with Power Chat where I could take a 1%, stake, and so that I could ban the cozy streamers off of Power Chat. That's what I've been doing all night. And so I only tuned in about 2 hours into his stream. I'm concerned with more important things.
Take a 1% stake so he could ban Power Chat.
And
cozy.
I'm not surprised. Let's put it that way. You notice he wasn't paying any attention to the Sektur at all. He didn't know what was going on until I caught some heat. And that's because he despises me. He despises me because I didn't bend the knee. And I don't have to bend the knee. I apologize for my part in it, but I'm not going to get down on my knees like Gator and suck your dick. I'm not going to get down on my knees like Randbot and suck your dick. That's never going to happen because that's not me. And, I'm willing to put anything to bed, quite frankly. But I'm not willing to accept, just ridiculous disrespect. And the sooner, I hope to God it's
He's
true.
so
I hope to
sober,
God
dude.
you are sick. I pray every night that you are sick.
Every night.
I've made a claim before, and I will fulfill that claim if you do, in fact, pass. I will fulfill that claim, and
What, is he gonna piss on your grave?
I'll feel good doing it.
That's gonna be a good piss.
You could have a heart attack right now live on air, and I would enjoy it. Because there's a
I hate
lot
to hear
more
why you came
important
back,
shit
Jim, but I'm
going
thrilled to see you
on.
again. Your
There's a
streams have
literal
been
pedophile
the week.
cult
That's how I
that
feel too. Right
you
now, I'd piss on him with you, bro.
cover up for, or you seem to think it's more important to go after me. I don't have any shame in writing a poem to my wife, who she didn't accept it, obviously, but you don't have a family because you're impotent. You're impotent and your doesn't work, and so you can't have any kids. So you can say whatever you want about my kids. You can say whatever you want about my family, but you don't have one of those. And there's a very good reason, because you're broke. And
Nick's broke. Write a poem about that.
it really is comical to me.
I'm hungry.
Like, this is the guy who wrote the cringiest poetry of all time. It's on my timeline right now at the Ralph Retort. And he wants to talk about, my poetry being cringe. There's never been a more cringe person than you on this earth. And the fact that you think you have some type of, like kingly crown, the only people who watch you or care about you are sicko weeb. And that's the truth. And, some people may tune in from here to there just to see what kind of weird shit you're talking about. But you're an actual sick fuck. You're a sick fuck. You live in a literal anime dungeon. And, for all your LARPing, which I've never done, by the way, you live with and she's ugly as sin. She does have big, I'll give her that, but she's ugly as sin. And so for all this, King of Paul calls himself King of Paul, but you think you're the King of Paul. But you're not. You're not. You're a LARPer. You're a fake. You're a piece of shit. And, if they won't let me on air, which they won't, quite frankly, because they know they'll be embarrassed, you're a phony. You're a complete phony. You've LARPed. You said you didn't even vote for Trump. You didn't even vote at all. His answer when Destiny confronted him with that was, "Oh, I didn't vote. Oh, I didn't vote." Well, that's the type of coward that I'm talking about here. Like, who runs from Destiny? No offense to Destiny, but that was your answer. You don't ever want to be pinned down on anything because you're a fraud. And that's the truth. You want to know what I think? That's the truth. You're a fraud, and you have nothing else other than your, little LARPing every 6 months to try to get a few more shekels for your cancer treatment that you don't even fucking have. But I hope you do. I hope you do. And I do hope and pray that is true. And you show all these documents, and of course those can't be faked. Yeah, we know those can't be faked at all. They can't be faked at all. All I know is you said your last stream was December, January, and here you are back in August when you thought you could score some points against me. And you sound really good to me. You sound really good to me. Not on any truth. But you sound very healthy, Jim. and you sound like you're full of shit. That's what you sound like. And, I could continue this for longer. I really don't know. Let's see. Maybe I could request it. Oh, that'd be I see TXT in here, and he's a ball watcher. But if he would like to talk, of course he doesn't talk because he's scared to talk, and he's working with people out in California. He's working with people out in New York. But there is nothing stopping you from talking. Add as a speaker. Go ahead. Can you speak?
What's up?
What?
You're
Oh, is that your contribution?
yeah, and then I'm going to
That doesn't
then
sound
I'm going
very,
to Ethan Ralph in the. I just want to say that.
that doesn't sound, dude. You're ESL, nigga. You're not even from the US. Get the fuck out of here.
Uh,
Can you even speak English?
no, sadly
No.
I'm a beginner.
You're right. No,
I'm a
you said
bruh.
it there. No, you said it there. No, you can't speak English. You can't speak English. You're just an absolute disgrace, and you can't even speak English. It shows how fucking dumb you are. You trying to think of the word? I know you think in Slavic or whatever the fuck
Kill
speak.
stream.
Can you put together?
No, kill stream. I want to ask you. I want to ask you something, bruh.
What?
I want to ask you something.
I don't know what that means.
I want to ask you something.
Well, ask it.
Is Ethan here? He's hearing right now.
Is what?
Is Ethan Ralph here right now hearing?
Yeah, Ethan Ralph is here
Okay.
right now. Yeah.
Ethan, it's really true that you got beat up in Portugal by African immigrants.
No, that's not true.
Oh, I remember seeing the pictures. Like he got hurt really bad.
But they weren't Africans. They were Portuguese, actually.
Oh, there were
I
were a
talked
bunch
shit
of
wars that was walking with them, and I said, "Fuck you," and that was a mistake because I got my face kicked in. But those types of things happen.
Wait a minute, you're Ethan.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
Ethan.
you're
Who the fuck
Ethan, damn,
you
bro.
talking to, idiot? Are you that fucking dumb? Seriously, are you that fucking dumb?
Nah, bro, I just don't know you.
Well, then why the fuck are you talking to me?
I don't know, bro.
I don't either. I really don't either. Goodbye. If are you Ethan? Yeah, I am. Yes, I am Ethan. If anybody else wants to talk,
Wait, but why are there's two Ethans?
No, you know what? Get out of here, idiot. You don't even know who I am. See, these are the Metokur fans. They don't even know who the fuck I am, and they just believe whatever the fuck they hear. I definitely did get my face kicked in Lisbon, and I don't have any shame in that. I've gotten my ass whooped plenty of times and whooped some ass plenty of times. And the fact that why would I be ashamed of that? Nigga, I own that. Is that supposed to upset me? I love Lisbon. I'm going back to Lisbon actually. So, is that supposed to be like an own? And I see TXC in here. I'd really like to have him talk, but I think he's probably too afraid to. to be honest with you. But if anybody else wants to raise their hands and talk, I'm going to do more of these Twitter spaces from my own account. I had to use the Pilstrom account tonight, but, well, long story. But yeah, I'm Ethan. That's the average level of intelligence of a Metokur fan. What, is this Ethan? Yeah. Like, who the fuck do you think it is? Like, what do you think? I just started this up out of the kindness of my heart? Yeah, it's me, idiot. Anybody else want to ask a question? Raise your hand and I'll bring you in. Because I'm not Metokur. I don't run from any of this. So anybody else who would like to chime in, I'm perfectly fine with that. And I won't name out everybody I see in here. I see a certain old friend of mine. I won't call his name out because he's a good kid. He ain't a kid now, but he was when I know him. And back in the day, and I won't call him out because I don't want to bring him heat. But you know, any other guys who want to ask a question, I don't run from any of that. You know, Metokur runs from his absolute disgraceful life. He runs from his name. He changes the name his daddy gave him. You know, he has engaged in, I mean, literally, I would have to sit and write a list to tell you all the things he's engaged in. But he's a scumbag. And the fact that anybody would find, you know, him playing like anime remixes, you know what? Just end it all. If that's the case, if that's what brings you entertainment, then you should end it all. Diorio, get in here. I see you give him the black power fist. Get in here. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you really think. I do enjoy the black power fist though. Not as much as Jade enjoys the black power fist, but you know, if you want to get in here, get in here. Like I'm not running from anybody. This is an open space, and I'm perfectly fine with talking to anybody. The black power fist is just taking over the chat. I wish I could use my microphone. I'm having to speak on my phone, which is a busted phone because my phone got stolen, but whatever. So you're telling me, out of all these people, nobody has the courage. I know there's some haters too. Nobody has the courage to raise their hand and speak. I mean, because I pretty much said all I've had to say. But you're telling me nobody has the courage? By the way, you don't have to be pro me. You don't. I'm not gonna cut you off. I cut him off because he can't even speak English. But if you can speak English, and you have some burns on me, I would welcome that. I would welcome that. I'm not afraid of that. And you know, the caller lines are open. But if you can't speak English, I am gonna have to show you the door, to be honest. By the way, this is pretty funny because 156 people just on a whim on a space. You know, I might have to do more of these spaces. Actually, I really don't like spaces that much, but you know, maybe I might have to change my policy. Neo, certain or another. Maybe I might have to change my policy. Requested. Okay. Add a speaker. Go ahead. You should be able to talk now. And what did you just like close your hand after I said that? Jesus Christ. Invite the co-host. Okay. Go ahead and speak. I uh, it's not exactly intuitive, the way the Twitter Spaces work. Um, but you're welcome to speak. You should be able to speak at least.
You
Yeah, go ahead.
should be able to speak.
100% correct on everything about Metokur. He's just making his money. I remember when Metokur used to have variety in his streams, but now it's just let's make fun of Ralph and Fuentes because that's where the easy money is.
Well, because that's all he has, dude. Remember, and I was never a Jim super fan. I know people think that. I only got into Jim when Gamergate started. I don't give a fuck or care a fuck about anything he did before that. And I followed him when Gamergate started because I was involved with it. But I remember he used to have, Ross and all these people and DSB, who, low hanging fruit, needless to say. But like, yeah, I remember when he used to have a real variety in his streams, and now it's me, it's Fuentes. Although, I haven't seen any. Did he talk about Fuentes tonight? I don't know. I didn't see the first part of the stream. So it seems to just be me, and you have to ask yourself that question: why is it just me? Is it because I didn't bow down to him? I mean, I think we know the answer, but it's just lame. It's pathetic. It's anime nonsense, anime freak shit, and that doesn't hold any appeal with me.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest fan of Josh, as you know, but at least his streams, he has variety. He doesn't just talk about you and Fuentes every stream, and that's because Josh knows that's fucking boring. Why do that?
Well, yeah, because it is boring, and me and Josh mended both. I might have bigger beefs with me and him. But yeah, he doesn't do that because it's boring and it gets old hat. And Metokur is about settling scores with him. He thinks he can harm me with his twice a year stream. Well, guess what? I'm here every single day, and I do very well, and I don't need James Augustine to prop me up. Gator might need it. Flamenco might need it. Randbot might need it. All these other fucks might need it, but I don't need it.
All right, that's all I got to say. Other callers, step up. Don't be. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. Podawful, why not? Honestly. Go ahead. You should be able to speak now. I think. I don't know. I'm not very familiar with Twitter Spaces, so it says requested. Let's see. You should be able to speak, man. Jeez Louise. Okay. All right, go ahead. Yes. What's up, brother?
We read Metokur's poetry yet on here, or?
No, we haven't, but
I
should
think.
we? Yeah, I think it's only fair, honestly. I mean, he's a big fan of my poetry. There's several pages of his poetry, by the way. This is not like, I think he fancied himself like some type of excellente when it comes to. Let me read this.
And I want everybody to remember, you have to grade poetry on a curve because all poetry is technically legally
true.
So any type, if you're ever doing poetry at all, you are having sort of a thought that you want to express out loud.
Right. That's
and
true.
as we talked about before, Ethan, you're supposed to keep those a secret inside your head like Randbot. So
right, and that's true. That's right, the gay secret. And you know what? I sent it to that poor Grace. I sent it to a couple women because I was hoping that
Hey, I don't know if this might just be for me, but your audio just cut out like crazy. Like I can barely hear you at all.
All right, can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
there we go.
Okay, so I wrote this poem because, I wanted to get my wife back. Now, did it work? No, obviously. But,
We've all been there.
right, exactly. I mean, like, I'm trying everything, right? This is poem number 1, first of many. Please have fun with this. The first of many writings to be included here. Revise, rewrite, edit, make it your own, make it beautiful, make it real. Show the nature of revisionist poetry right here. This is Jim Metokur who wrote this, by the way. This was not Ethan Ralph. This was
Having thoughts out loud. In fact, he wanted to share these with the world.
right.
He thought
And it
this should be
wasn't
put
trying to
into
get
a
a
book.
bitch back. It was just like he's like, I mean, I don't know
This
what to
wasn't a
say.
private message to a lady in a tender, desperate moment. This
No.
is he thinks he's E.E. Cummings.
Right. I like that reference. This is from the Minnesota Writers Group, and he said, let me try to really get into it. Unspoken. We make an arch with our hands, the union of one and one. Through 5 to 5, the awkward mathematics of love. In the field below the numbers, we sing music without words, which sounds so much like forgiveness for something we haven't yet done. But it is what we will do, no matter. Intentions. Imagine the baked snow touching the gilded tips of wheat, beautiful in the cool sun, and oh, so deadly. That was his poem. By the way, unobjectively, my poem was much better.
I think it's a difference of like your poem sounds like a kid writing a poem.
Well, I'm trying to get my wife back, nigga. Like,
Yeah. No, I get it. But
yeah.
his
What
poem
does this sound like then?
His poem sounds like a guy who like read some poems and is trying to write, the poems he's read already.
Right.
You know?
That's exactly right. And he's trying to emulate others. I have no great experience with poetry. I read a few here and there, whatever, but it's not my bag. And so I just wanted
Walt
something.
Whitman.
Right, Walt Whitman, exactly. It's not something that's my bag. I wanted to write something to my wife that would maybe mean something. Obviously, it didn't. But I wasn't trying to emulate a great poet. I was just trying to write something heartfelt. And there is poem after poem of Metokur. And by the way, I don't know if you know this. There's a lot of stuff from Metokur back in the Minnesota days with all of his writings. And, I mean, I honestly tried to drop this, Jesse, because, I really don't care. It was last year. I started a little bit myself and, just watering the bridge. But he apparently wants to, try to go at me. So
Well, listen, he's broke. I mean, flat fucking broke, right? And he needs the money, and you are the money. When people talk about, I mean, people call it the Sektur. He calls it the Sektur. That's a word you say that you came up with that. That's your
right.
thing. They spell it the way they spell it because of the way you say it. You sound all silly and crazy when you talk.
Sektur, yeah.
Sektur, right. And although I have to say, this is something I always find notable about you is you do have like a deceptively good vocabulary. You use words and phrases I like nobody's used since the 1800s. Like the other day, you described yourself as sober as a judge. I like the last time my guy said that, he was wearing a tweed suit or so, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. So
I have
anyway,
a few anachronistic phrases. That's true. By
I
the way,
love
if you
that.
don't know, look it up, as Sargon would say, anachronistic. But you know, I see Wild Goose in here. You know, I haven't talked to Wild Goose in many years. Did he just leave when I called him out? Why doesn't Goose get on here? I think he literally just left. And I don't know why. He's mad at me for whatever
He
reason.
might have been scared of me too, actually. But
Oh, do you have some history with him?
I don't think so. I don't have an issue with anybody. I'm poking some fun at Metokur here. I feel bad for the guy. He's flat broke. He's dying supposedly. I'm kind of with Mersh where I think it's fake. But here's the
Me
thing.
too.
I believe the cancer is fake, but I believe the osteoporosis is real. I do think he has a grandma's skeleton.
Yeah, I think the is real. That's what I think.
I don't know about that. I'm trying to fix him. I'm not going to touch that, but I'm trying to get him better. You know, the guy, we sent him a bunch of milk earlier from McDonald's, and while he's streaming, he got all this milk. He didn't even look in the bag. He thinks he's got McDonald's. He was like talking about, oh, I'm going to eat all these burgers. It's just milk. All we sent was milk. Because we're trying to fix his bones. I'm afraid Mersh is going to come with a straw and drink him up or something. So I'm trying to help him out here, and then he won't admit on stream that it's milk. Like, he hasn't mentioned the milk one time. I've got photos on my Twitter. The milk is piling up.
Full of milk, and he tried to act like it was a bag full of burgers.
Yeah, exactly. And he's trying to make it like it was some sort of Nick Fuentes joke. This is not a joke. I'm taking your health way more serious than you are, Mr. Metokur. And I know you'll listen to this. Please drink the milk. We got to get some calcium in you. We've got to fix your bone. It is scary what you're doing to yourself. No joke. He was so afraid of the McDonald's that showed up that he said, I have to start smoking again. This is a dying man.
He's dying, allegedly dying of fucking like lung ailments and heart attacks. And I think of the Don Draper quote, especially recently in my life. I'm living like there's no tomorrow because there isn't one. That's a little bit of a nihilistic quote. But I haven't been diagnosed with deadly diseases. You know what I mean? Like, you would think that maybe he could put the six down just for a little bit, Jesse.
I thought, listen, all right. Say, Ethan, you smoke occasionally. Do you smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay. So listen, I get it. People smoke, right? Whatever. I don't smoke. I find it bizarre. I find it like, it literally makes me laugh. Smoking, I find so strange. It makes me laugh. I think it's gross. I don't have a problem. I'm not one of those people where, like, you smoke around me. I'm like, no, secondhand. I don't believe in like secondhand smoke or anything. But Metokur is dying. Like, the guy is claiming he's got cancer. And then I see him light up the stream, and his image for the stream is cigarettes everywhere.
Ashtray with cigarettes all in it.
Ashtray. And listen, this is what I find so humorous about smoking, especially when it comes to Metokur, is I know that he thinks it looks cool.
Yeah.
And I know that the people who like still look at him as an e-daddy think it looks cool. And I think he's actually inspired people to smoke. Imagine that. Like, when they started trying to ban cigarettes in movies and TV and shit, and you couldn't have them in certain magazines and all of that. I think they were fucking right for doing that. Because
when I was a kid, and you probably about how old are you?
I'm around the same age as you, I think.
Right, about the same age. And you know what? I remember thinking Joe Camel was cool as fuck.
Well, I mean, you know what Norm Macdonald said about Joe Camel, though, right? That's not good. I wouldn't admit that out loud.
Like, oh, Marble Man smoking and, bitches on his dick. And, like, that wasn't an accident. They wanted you to think that.
Yeah, of course.
And by the way, the alcohol salesmen are the same way. I had to take an ADSAP class. I won't say why, DUI. But they actually explain the mentality of drinking.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest factors of drinking is rebelliousness, is unpredictability, and you'll never know what'll happen. You'll never know who you'll fuck. You'll never know unless you have this drink.
Well, that's why you start doing these things when you're a teen. These are like
Right.
teenage thoughts, you know?
Right.
But that's the thing is like Metokur. I really want you to picture, even the smokers out there, even the Metokur fans, really picture this. This dude has no doubt inspired some like arrested development, mentally delayed autists to start smoking. And now he's dying from cigarettes, which is so fucking crazy. But like, you know, most people live to be 90 smoking cigarettes. But this guy somehow has smoked whatever the amount, you know, how in Europe they've got cigarette packs that show like a black lung on it or whatever. Like in order to get those photos, it's either an 80-year-old guy or a guy like Mister Metokur. Like that's how much he's fucking smoking. If you look at his okay, don't do this. I'm not trying to tell anyone.
Dude, literally, one of them has like a rat that's dead on the top of the box. One of them has cancer de mama, like your mom's gonna die of cancer. They show lungs like rotted out on the top there. That's how they do it here in Mexico.
Like let's say you live in a basement permanently, right? Just as a hypothetical, and you smoke so much that your window to your basement is just constantly open. And I know this because I might have just looked at Metokur's house on Google Street View, and literally in the middle of October when it's like kind of cold out in Minnesota, he's got his window to the basement open to let all the smoke. I'm not joking. You can see it on Street View. It's
Please
very
send me
funny.
that, by
This
the
guy
way.
needs
I
somebody
need
to
some
come
knowledge,
fucking
but
like I don't know
please send me that.
what is his wife doing? She needs to stop him. Like, how is he getting
Do
cigarettes?
you know how he got his wife? Do you know the story?
No,
Were
I
you
don't
around
really
back
know
in
anything
Gamergate?
about the guy.
Were you around back in Gamergate?
I mean, I had a show, but I didn't know anything about all that stuff.
Okay, so Jade was a big
Oh wait,
titty.
your mic is fucking up again.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yep, there you go.
So Jade, whatever her fucking name was, the big bitch, Jade, somebody in chat can correct me. She was one of the ringleaders of Gamergate. That's why I don't feel bad making fun of her because she's basically a colleague of mine, Jesse.
Okay.
And she started the Not Your Shield. And there was another op that was Operation Disrespectful Nod. And so Not Your Shield was we're women in gaming, we're blacks in gaming, and you can't say this about us, and we love gaming, and of course, because nobody believed that, but whatever. It was just a propaganda talking point. And then she had disrespectful nod, but then she had Not Your Shield, but then she had disrespectful nod, and so daily she ran the email campaigns to email these journalists and these companies to try to win Gamergate over. And by the way, for a month or two it worked until they realized we were all a bunch of psychos, and and then it stopped working. But I'm gonna be like, speaking of lighting cigarettes, Jim, I'm still gonna outlove you. So she got some success early on with that till they realized we were all psychos. But if you don't know, she was a Jesse.
Yeah.
And there are pictures out here of her being in the showing her
Opening.
Yeah, opening. And now there are no super graphic pictures of this. But we know for a fact that, you know, they exist, right? Like, I mean, you don't just do those types of things, and those things don't exist. And Jim, and I was big in early Gamergate and was on streams with Jim and Roguestar and King of Paul and Shoe on Head and Oliver Campbell and Frederick Brennan, owner of 8chan, all these people. I was a figurehead of Gamergate. Not the figurehead, but one of them. And she tried to basically whitewash her history. And Jim is such a fucking weeb and such a fucking loser that he is like, by the way, she's not Japanese, she's Korean. Got with Jim, and you don't know this. I'm gonna tell this publicly, and I hope people record this, because a friend of mine named Ivy Clover, who stabbed me in the back, he was dating her, and he was one of these guys, one of these operators. You know who I'm talking about, right? Who gets in everybody's DMs and trying to hook everybody up, and he hooked her up with Metokur.
Okay.
And Metokur immediately stole her from him. And she went to his house and they had a stream, and he her on stream. So
I have heard that before, yeah.
Yeah, that really happened. It's really out there, and he's got a lot of nerve to talk about sex and all this. You know, he actually her on stream. Now, it was no video, to be fair. But he her on stream, stole her away from Ivy Clover, and he knows all this is true, by the way, and he would never deny it because he can't, because he knows it's true. And he ended up taking her for himself, and he thought he had some big victory because he had some fat with fat. By the way, the fatter you are, the fatter your titties are. I know that myself. And
wait, are you talking about because you have 4?
Yeah. Now, you know what's funny is I don't actually. You know what? You want to make me address that? I don't have 4. I have 2, and then there's like a slice underneath my left, and it's because I got stabbed and like sliced underneath, and so there's scar tissue there. And no, I only have 3.
So that's not. Oh, so it's only 3. There's not another.
Yeah, no, there's not 4. There's
all right,
not
everybody,
4.
correct your memes, correct your drawings out there. Ethan has 3.
Yeah, only. Well, the one's not a 3. It's not actually. It's just like a lateral, piece of fat because I got fucking stabbed.
Right.
In Memphis, Tennessee.
Have you ever thought of doing what the doing tattooing on it?
No, I've never thought of that.
Okay.
I live in Mexico and I could get it fixed easily, but I don't really care. I've never had any problems getting it.
That's true.
And so, I don't really care. But I don't actually have 4. I have the one. I have the, and then there's like below the left one. There's like a lateral piece of fat. And it's because there's scar tissue.
So you're more like the Total Recall then?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Gotcha.
You know what? I can't help but liking you, and I know. You know what? I can't help but liking you, and you know who my best friend is, and I appreciate you not doing that. By the way, on the Fuck Cozy Festival, and I know you could have, and that's my guy for life, and that's never gonna change. But I just want to say that publicly right now that I do appreciate you not going there. And you have your own reasons, and I'm not going to get involved with it. But I appreciate you not doing that.
I'm actually a nice guy. Some people say the greatest guy.
Well, I didn't say that, but
Well, this is why I'm trying to save Metokur. This is what I don't get is like he's got this wife, presumably she's there taking care of him. Why is she buying him cigarettes? It's crazy.
Well, because she wants to see him die so she can get all his money.
Like I'm assuming he's so feeble he can't drive or anything, right? Like that'd be crazy if he's behind a wheel.
He can't even leave the house, dude. Did you watch the me versus him on Monday Night? He literally is
Yeah, I
a
was on
bubble
that.
boy. He can't leave the house because any type of pathogen or sickness could actually send him to his grave.
See, that's what I don't believe. I think that's in his head. I think he's being a lady. That's a woman's
Well, a
thought.
lot of people think he has Munchausen.
I think so. Maybe Jade's giving it to him. Maybe it's by proxy.
Well, I've had a lot of people tell me that. And, I want to believe, to be honest, because, I've had nobody has interacted with Metokur more than me, period. And it's all been on air, and we've had some good times, and I want to believe that he's telling the truth, but I don't really, especially after tonight. Like, it's like, oh, you came back to try to dunk on me? Like, okay.
I believe he has some health problems. Like, I'm not full on a complete.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not
That's
a complete denier, Mersh style. I think the heart attack's real. I think the osteoporosis is real.
Well, you know what? He got trolled by Mersh, and I know you don't like Mersh, but he got trolled so hard by Mersh that he put out his medical records.
I agree. Yeah, I think Mersh won that one.
Yeah, he did. I mean, and by the way, that's a big admission from you.
I got no problem saying that.
That's a big admission from you. He got trolled so hard by Mersh that he put out his medical records to try to prove that he's actually sick.
Yeah, that's straight up crazy.
It's embarrassing, really.
But it's also telling because the stuff he put out is not cancer related. It's not, all the other things he claims. It's just, oh, I had a heart attack.
Yeah, well, hopefully the next one takes him out. Yeah, I thought, I know you don't like Mersh, and I like you, and I like Porcelain, and I've settled all that beef. But he clearly is really bothered by Mersh saying that he is a fake. And he really can't help himself. You talk about being trolled. You talk about being worked. He was worked.
I agree. I think that's true. Now I know that there's been a huge. Listen, I don't follow everything in the Sektur. Okay, I'm kind of an outsider to the Sektur, to be honest. And I see through Twitter, obviously, that there's been all sorts of alliances broken and people calling you're against Kino Shay again. You're calling him Kino gay, and I don't really know what all that. Where did that stem from?
Because I was at the beach, I got my shit stolen. I sent out a couple weird tweets. There's no doubt about that. I wasn't fucked up though. I was actually.
So you have you not had a drink?
No.
Since when?
Since July 14th.
Okay, so you're not drunk right now at all.
No.
No pills, no.
No.
Because I will now again, and I'm coming from an honest place here. This is not bad faith.
Well, you can say what you want.
All right. I will say that right now, to me, I'm not saying you're trashed or anything, but right now, to me, you don't sound as clear as, let's say, when we were doing the Fuck Cozy Festival or.
And that's fine. That doesn't bother me. But no, I haven't been. And
what would explain that discrepancy?
I'm drunk off just the ridiculousness of this. So like what even is this, Jesse? I mean, you know what I mean? This is crazy. it's absolutely insane. And who would care even if I was drunk?
Well, I mean, I don't care if you are. Although for me, again, in the same way that like I don't know, like or hate or care about Metokur, but the guy, he's on stream dying and lighting up a cigarette because milk showed up. I'm trying to help the guy. I want him to get better. So if you have anything wrong, I want you to get better. I need all of these people, to be healthy enough to
Content.
keep going.
Yeah, it's content. Yeah, I totally agree. But
Well, not even
no,
just content. I don't even cover you guys that often. Like, it's not for me. It's not even just that. I enjoy seeing the spectacle. So to
well,
me,
I do too.
right now, I can't understand what the discrepancy is. Why you sound less lucid now than maybe you did before.
Well, because I've been up for about 48 hours, and it is what it is.
What's causing that? Why are you up so long?
Well, I was gonna do a stream today, but I knew they would want me to snipe, and I didn't want to. So,
Okay. All right.
That's the reason.
Well, listen, I take a man at his word, but at the same time, I know how powerful the disease of alcoholism
You're
is.
right. It is powerful.
And I know that it can be an embarrassing thing to misstep. And I don't think it has to be, I don't think you're taking a hit by, if you were to misstep by telling the truth about that.
Well, I would tell the truth. I've told the truth many times. I fell off hard last month. Not with just alcohol, but with Xanax. And so, I don't have to lie about it. I don't.
See, I'm a little naive to these things because I don't drink or do drugs or anything. I can be naive, and if somebody tells me that they're completely stone cold sober as a judge, let's put it, then I don't. What do I know? I've never been drunk or anything. I don't know if that's true or not. So
You
I
don't
can't.
drink at all.
Huh?
You don't drink at all.
No, I've never have.
Well, that's good for you. And by the way, for anybody listening, I don't encourage my former lifestyle for anybody because I think it's a road to perdition. It's a road to fucking up your life, and I don't want to glorify these things
Yeah.
because there's nothing. It's not glorifiable.
And listen, anybody out there, whether you're an Ethan guy or a Metokur guy, if you listen, I get it. You don't have a dad, okay? So these
Well, he's
guys,
bad.
they're not your dad, and you shouldn't be looking to the now, Ethan, I don't think you glorify these things at all. I think you're sort of a living example of these things being bad.
Right.
But Metokur, I think he does glorify the cigarette. You guys got to stop with the smoking and everything.
Right.
It's bad for you, man. I mean, look at what happened to these guys. And just because your parents divorced when you were 9, it doesn't mean you need to go to the internet to find a fella,
Well, I was actually 11, and
I wasn't talking about you, but okay.
no, but I just want to point this out, and I don't think many people have faced the hardships that I've faced. That's not an excuse to indulge in alcohol or drugs. But my children have been stolen. I mean, literally stolen away from me. And it would be easy to slip into that. That's not something I'm gonna do. So.
Well, yeah, and I'm a father's rights guy, so I don't care for that. But on the bright side, I think, at least we can all be sure that you'll probably have another kid at some point.
Oh yeah, we will, because I'm very virile. I just have to look at
We
a
will.
bitch and she gets pregnant.
I
you
mean,
know?
the
Who?
classic characters of history, these like great legendary men out there, they always have like 5 families, you know?
Yeah. And I don't have any immediate plans to have a family. But
I got to be honest, I think you're in your getting a pregnant arc.
dude, if you saw the walking around here, you honestly would not believe how like hot they are.
Well, see, that's the problem though, is
Ralph,
you
you
get
have
them
to pay
pregnant
for.
and they shrink 3 feet and they become just as wide as they are tall. They're just a papoose slinging at that point. But I think that would be
I've been
nice
with
for you.
Torta at night, and she always hooks me up with pina, which is pineapple
Yeah.
in English. And I think she wants to be for sure.
All right.
Um,
Have you ever seen what's that show called? Eastbound and Down?
yes, I have.
I think you're in that phase. Okay, you need to find yourself and by the way, forget the hot ones. All right, you can cheat on a with a hot one. They don't care. You find yourself a nice plump senorita, and she's gonna do everything that you want out of a wife as long as you're working and stuff. And if you do slip up and drink and stuff, they don't give a shit if you drink. That's not a
No, they
huge
don't,
deal.
because they all fucking around me.
You know, you'll be allowed to drive. I mean, you could just give the baby tequila at that point. So
Uh-huh.
I think, and I'm not joking when I know it sounds silly. I think you need to find yourself a nice, squat, ugly, settle down with her, and then run around on her. Do whatever you want. Go travel to America and women while you're there. It doesn't matter. Like it
I
really,
agree with you, but not
they're
ugly.
barely people.
You would be surprised, dude. Look, I went up today, and I haven't said this publicly. But when my phone, and by the way, I think my phone just got lost. I don't think it got stolen. And because my cards got lost too, and there's been no activity on them. So I just can't find them.
Right.
But I had to go up to the Ministry of Justice today to file a report on because they take it seriously here. If you lose your temporary residency card, and so I had to go up there and I had to file that. And it was all good. I paid my lawyer. My lawyer is my best friend in town, and he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But it's not really that big of a deal.
I think here's what you need. You need a 5-year plan, and I think I know what it is. Okay. Find again the ugliest, squattest, like just
Nigga,
no
I
speaks.
don't want to ugly spot.
Hang on. Hear me out. Hear me out. This is just an idea. Okay. 5-year plan idea. All right. You find and make sure she speaks no English, none. You guys can barely even communicate.
Most
all
of
right?
them don't.
And then you put 3 or 4 kids in this, right? You stick around, you keep your head down, you just keep doing the grind, you be a good dad, and then 5 years from now, after what the oldest one's 4, I guess at this point, you just out of nowhere, no, like absolutely no warning at all, you just leave and move back to America. You never see any of them again. You're allowed. I don't know what. Listen, I don't make the rules of life, but for whatever reason, you're allowed to do this with. So, like, and they'll eventually find their way to America
By the way,
anyway.
I want to say something to you, and you might not believe this, but the Mexican people are by far more meritable than American people.
Oh,
Especially
definitely. I
here.
just love them in.
But I'm saying you don't really understand. I wish you'd come down here actually. To Merida, and you can get a visa 180 days. It's no problem whatsoever.
Ralph,
I
no one
think you
wants to
would
move to the
enjoy it.
third world. Nobody
It's
wants to
the
move to
safest place
Mexico.
in Mexico, literally, and I think you would enjoy it.
Well, maybe I'll get a vacation home there. I live in Australia now, but
Yeah, of
maybe a
course.
vacation home in where is it? Merida?
Merida, yeah,
Yeah.
Merida. It's in the Yucatan. It's about 3.5 hours west of Cancun.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that. So I might do. That sounds like a great idea. And I'll start a second family there. I won't tell my wife about it. Just find the squad. They love getting pregnant off the first guy
Dude,
they meet. They
people
love
don't
it.
understand, but like, look at me like I'm Brad Pitt because I'm an American, and I'm not sure everybody understands this, but if you're an American here in Mexico, it's no problem getting at all.
Yeah, because they think you're a meal ticket. Then they get back and they're like, "Wait, what? Wait, you live here?
Well,
Wait,
that might be
what?"
true. But I'm just saying, man, like people who don't get it, like you're like exotic here. You know how they're exotic there or exotic in other countries?
Well, they're not too exotic in America anymore.
Well, not in America, but you know what I mean? They are exotic. I'm exotic here. And
You're exotic anywhere, I think.
I think so too, Jesse. What else you got, brother?
Oh, that was it. I just want to stop by and
This
say,
dude
hey.
is so fucking
I did think it was
drunk and
mean
high.
that I know you're friends with Null from Kiwi Farms, but I thought it was mean that he made that post about Metokur right before Metokur came back. I don't know if you saw that.
What do you? No, I didn't see it.
He said, I'll read it to you. He said, he's responding to a guy talking about, guys like that. And he says, it happens with any daddy. Here's the formula for starting a cult based on what I've seen in forum threads here. Number one, be aloof. Scarcity increases your worth. And the less you do, the less likely you are to do something stupid. Number two, be funny. People forgive funny people way more than unfunny people. Number three, appeal to people with weak father figures. There's many niches for this. Find your own with few competing daddies. Watch as your reputation becomes unimpeachable and
I'll
people
say
will...
this.
What's that? Wait, what'd you say? I can't hear you now.
So
Wait, you there?
here, can you hear me?
Oh, now I can hear you. I don't know what happened there.
I'm more funny than Null could ever dream of being. And
You're
that's
extremely
what-
funny, but you don't have the scarcity part. Number one is being aloof. You're not aloof at all.
No, you're right. I'm not aloof.
But yeah, his point is like when you have all three of these qualities, you're unimpeachable. People will defend you tirelessly without compensation for years. And it's true, there's a lot of guys like that. But I by the way, Null, I don't think Null realizes he's describing himself as well. But
No, let me ask you something before I let you go.
Sure.
Obviously, Dick Masterson is my guy, and he's actually a real life friend of mine. Is there any way to build that bridge back?
That you'd have to ask him that. For me, all right. Can I be honest with you about something that I've kind of...
You
All
can.
right.
I would like you to be.
Okay. Because this is something I pretty much never said. I've kind of alluded to this a few times, but I'd never outright say this. And I'm always still kind of poking Dick Masterson because I think he does deserve it. He did get my Patreon taken down. But
Well, look, man, look, I'm not going into that because there's a few different details onto that. But go ahead.
well, I mean, on the details are that happened. However,
that's my guy. You know,
I'm not talking shit here. I'm not talking shit.
I
It's
know.
just,
Go ahead, say what you want to say.
all right. Here's the thing, though. I am that, it's been what, 6 years or whatever since that happened. I don't know how long it's been. I am actually of the opinion now that I basically owe Dick. That was a favor because getting me kicked off of Patreon made me more money than I probably ever would have. I built my own Patreon thing after that. I built the pizza fund after that. I'm
You
much
saw that code. Yeah, that was pretty smart.
I'm much richer for it having happened. I will say, he seems to think. I found out recently that he seems to think that I'm the one who made everyone on the internet start calling him a. That wasn't me. I didn't do that. Was
By the
him.
way,
He did that.
he's not a.
I don't really think he is. In fact, I did a whole episode where I said I don't think Vito's a.
Well, I don't either.
See, so like I'm willing to be friendly
Well,
toward
you know what?
anybody.
I don't know what I can do, but I would like to build that bridge back because I think both you guys are funny, and my whole beef with you in the first place was just because of that,
I
and
know that.
and I would like to see that mended.
Well, it's crazy. My whole relationship with Maddox and all of this stuff, all of that happened because I was a fan of Dick Masterson. I started listening to his podcast, not the Dick Show, the one that he had with Maddox before that. I started listening to that. I had no clue who Maddox was. I had seen Dick Masterson back on Dr. Phil when that first happened. And I was into that. I thought that was funny. So I was like, holy shit, it's that guy from the Dr. Phil episode. I'll watch that. I'll listen to that podcast. And so it is odd that it all kind of shook out this way. But at the same time, I think anything I've done in the past when it comes to him was 100% justified. But I'm not, I don't really do anything
but
now.
what I would like to co-sign is trying to build that bridge back because I think both you guys are funny, and of course Dick is one of my best friends in life, and of course I'm always going to roll with him. You know how it is, but I would like to see you guys get back on the same page.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I'd be willing to do. I'd be willing to even like meet up and shake hands, the whole thing. The problem is if you're the one inviting Dick to have the meetup, then he's gonna break all his bones beforehand before coming, or he'll suddenly become violently ill and not show up. So
Well, we'll see, Jesse, and I appreciate you joining me, brother.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, for sure. All right. This is because, I mean, they shut me out of the main show, so I figured, why not do my own show? But if anybody else wants to speak,
his own show.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm
Dude,
looking through here.
You were fucked up.
Otherwise, me and Jesse. You should be able to speak now.
Ethan, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me, Ethan? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay. Look, this is important. We have not talked about this before. I'm not asking to speak to fight with you or to argue with you, but this is important, okay? If you truly have not had a drink or anything since July 14th, then I believe that it is important doctor, and I'll explain why. You have never seen my film. I know that you've never seen my film.
No, I haven't.
One of the victims in the film was a very young man, a very healthy man. He was in his early 20s. He was an alcoholic. He quit cold turkey, and he didn't do it with the doctor's supervision or anything like that. And he had a very bad stroke. He was crippled for the rest of his life, and he lives in assisted living to this day. And I'm telling you that you and I spoke about 3 weeks ago on your show because despite our differences, if you were going after, I wanted to help lend my expertise. And I'm just telling you that in hearing your voice, in hearing your cadence, you sound different than you did 3 weeks ago. Podawful thinks you sound
Well,
different
nigga, I've
too.
been up 48 hours. I mean, like, what do you want me to say? Do you want the breathalyzer? I can take one on the air if you want.
I'm saying, Ethan, I believe there is a risk because you were an alcoholic for a while and because you quit, there is a risk that you may have had a very small stroke and not quite realize it. And something's a little bit off and you don't know what. I'm just recommending you get checked out.
I don't care if I live or die.
Okay.
You'll know the truth.
I have empathy for other people, so despite whatever's going on, that's the only reason I said what I had to say, and I have good reason for saying it. So take care, and God bless, and have a good night.
Well, and thank you for that. But and let me how do I even do this? Jesus Christ, get their mic. I think people think I'm joking when I say that I'll die for all this. And no, I'm not drunk. I have been up for an ungodly amount of time. And that's unfortunate. But I'll be back tomorrow with a kill stream. I will get some sleep eventually. But Gabe, and if Gabe wants to come back on here, he can raise his hand again. But he decided to get involved with my beef with Grace Thorpe and her father. I don't take kindly to that, Gabe. I really don't. And so,
Is he like smacking himself?
You can defend those people if you want. But they picked a fight with me, and you made it your mission to try to defend them. And that was your decision. Completely up to you. But I'm on a mission to not only destroy the Thorpe family, but I'm in contact with Courtney Thorpe. I'm in contact with the authorities in Rhode Island. And I'm going to make sure that Ben never sees his kids again. And he fucked with the wrong one, is what he did. And he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to cheer his daughter on. But he decided to do that. And, I did nothing but try to help her. And the main advice I gave her was stay away from him. Like, don't fucking, like, don't get involved in him because he's a loser. Nobody likes him. Wild Goose, call in. I'd like to talk to Wild Goose, actually. That's who I'd like to talk to, really more than anybody, if you want to know the truth. Let's see here. Wild Goose requested. Okay. Wild Goose was a great friend of mine. Of course, he doxed me as well, but That was a long time ago. Wild Goose, you're on the air. Oh wait, listener, do I have to press something else? Man, I'm not really.
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Cool. This is a new headset. Dude, I mean, obviously it's been a while. What the hell are you doing, man? You're talking about ending this guy's family and shit? Like, well, like, why are you doing this?
Well, I mean, he's his daughter, Wild Goose. I mean, do you think that's
I don't know
good?
about all that, but like, you got enough
Oh,
turmoil going
wait.
on.
You just stand, wait. Hold on. And I'll let you talk all you want.
Sure.
But you just stand way the other way. You don't think there's any merit to that at all?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch any of that. It was broken up.
I said you just hand wave all that away and you don't see any merit in that at all?
No, I don't hand wave anything away. Hold on, let me turn this shit off. I got like a.
Go ahead, you're still here. If you are, I don't know. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, dude.
That's okay.
I turned the
Don't
monitoring off.
apologize.
So.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with Twitter Spaces myself.
Fuck
so.
me. Let me turn that shit off because I can't do it. Go ahead and talk. I'll join in at some point.
No, wait. Can you not talk now?
I can, but just give me a
Well,
sec.
just say what you want to say.
All right, I'm tight. I just gotta turn. This is so fucking lame. Hold on.
There's nothing stopping you. I have to hold the phone up to my face because I can't use my fucking microphone because of Elon Musk. But whatever. Just so you're free to speak whatever you want.
Hey yo, I'll come back. I gotta fix this.
Okay. Well, come
Otherwise,
back.
they're gonna be stumbling and mumbling.
That's fair, and I'll give you another chance, and there's no problem with that. So just raise your hand or do whatever the fuck it takes to get a call. But I would actually like to hear from you. So I'll remove from speakers, but I would actually like to hear from you. Oh, is he talking now? Let me try. Where's Wild Goose? Okay. Wild Goose, would like to.
Just FYI, the stream's still going. The fucking space is still live. He muted himself. And Wild Turkey didn't come back, or Wild Goose, my bad, not Wild Turkey. I'm sure he probably went to go get some Wild Turkey.
Okay, well, welcome everybody to Podawful. I'm your host Jesse PS.
Oh God, no!
And with us here today is no one. Apparently, Ethan has muted himself. This is awkward.
Okay,
I'm
you
still.
can hear me. Hear me now.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I was covering for you while you were gone there.
I
You were
appreciate that.
silent for a while.
What? Cause fuck, I don't know how to use this shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the space is a little hard to figure out at first, but you'll get it.
Yeah, I get it.
Bring on Baked. Why isn't Baked Alaska should be on here?
Baked Alaska is welcome to join the call, and I'll invite him to speak if he would like to. But you know, can't make people talk.
That's true.
So, it is what it is.
I don't know. Maybe it's bedtime, Ethan. Maybe you should go to bed.
You think so?
You're seeming pretty tired. Yeah.
Jesse,
Nah,
no!
well, I wanted to give as many people as possible a chance to speak.
Jesse, shut the fuck up and leave.
All right. Well,
Let
everybody,
Rob
make your
continue.
requests known now. Let's get you in here. Let's get everybody. Let's just get everybody up.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Any requests? Or...
Well, I actually gave him co-host abilities, so I don't know if he wants to speak or not. So,
Oh, okay.
but it is what it is.
Well, imagine if it wasn't.
You're right. Imagine if it wasn't.
You know what I mean? That'd be crazy.
There's what I don't know, 200 and some people watching right now, or listening, and I would like to hear from him, but he said his mic was fucked up or something. I don't doubt him. Maybe they are fucked up. So it is what it is. I think I pretty much said all I've had to say, really, but I was just trying to give more people chances to speak.
Do you think you'll take up Gabe's advice and see a doctor?
About what?
What?
Yeah, I don't recall. I mean, he did mention seeing a doctor, but I don't recall what he meant about seeing a doctor.
Well, he said he was worried you were having a stroke, I think he said, or something. Or you had a mini stroke.
Yeah, I don't think I'll take that up. No.
Okay. You seemed genuinely concerned.
Yeah, I know. Helpful. But no, I don't think that's gonna happen. So
Are you refusing to see a doctor because you're worried they'll be?
no, I just don't like doctors.
Even ones?
Well, they are a little bit better than the ones in the U.S., but no, I don't feel a need to see a doctor. Like, what would I see a doctor about?
Well, I don't know if what he said has any merit to it, but if he seems to think you're having a stroke, I would go to a doctor if that was me. But
I mean, do I seem like I'm having a stroke? Like,
you seem like something is severely off. Yeah.
You think so?
I do, but could it be that you've just been awake for a long time? Sure, but then I worry about why you've been awake for that long,
Well, I mean, I don't really take your advice that seriously, to be honest.
My advice is not my advice.
Well, I mean, you repeated it, so
I'm just saying, just asking if you're taking Gabe's advice or not.
no, is the
Okay.
answer.
Okay.
Do you have anything else, or
No.
okay? Well, that's good, and I appreciate that. Um, but no, I'm not having a stroke. God damn it! I wish I was having a stroke. But no, I'm not having a stroke. That's like the weirdest, like craziest fucking talking point that I've heard in a while. If anything, I would have a heart attack because I'm a fat ass. So, I mean, you can have a stroke as a fat ass
Yeah, I think
too.
you can still have a stroke as a fat guy.
Yeah, true. But no, I'm not having a stroke. So I started this because Metokur wouldn't let me on his stream. That's why I started. So anybody else who wants to talk, raise their hand or make it known now, and I will let that happen. I've tried to get Wild Goose on here, but it's just not happening. So, I mean, it's kind of pointless, really, at this point. I think I've said everything I needed to say. So, and I know there's a lot of people who wishes I would fall off the wagon and wishes that I couldn't do the show. And I'll be fucked up doing the show. I'll be doing a show tomorrow. So I didn't do one today, that's true. But no, I'm perfectly lucid. Perspicacity, would you like to speak? Let's see. I really don't know how to. That's another problem. Is I really don't know how to run Twitter Spaces, and so it's a little weird. And I'm having to use my backup account as well. But Perspicacity, can you speak? It says speaker, but you have to unmute yourself. Let's see. Like the co-host. Yeah, you have to unmute yourself. That's not me. That's them. Like, what the fuck? I know everyone wants to say Ralph is fucked up and Ralph is drunk. Well, goddamn, I can't fucking make people talk. Like, I don't know what to say. So it has him muted. And I sent him requests to speak, but like apparently he can't speak. So it's a little strange. I know I'm having a stroke. Really having.
You gonna talk, Ralph?
Because if not, I'm just gonna end it because like I don't feel like talking anymore. So Are you there? Anybody? Anybody? Are you there? Twitter Spaces. It is annoying. Connecting, it says perspicacity. So we'll see if we can get him on here. I really don't think that I can. I don't know because I invited them to speak. I invited them to be co-host, and then they can't talk. So I really don't know how to fix that. So, but if you can talk within the next like 3 minutes, that would be good. Because if not, I'm probably just going to end it. Oh God, and have to do a fucking 8-9 hour show tomorrow. I'm just like, what the fuck? I shouldn't even be up this late, honestly. But it is what it is. Perspicacity, where the fuck are you? Requested. Okay, this person has requested. Okay, speak.
Killstream, hey, hi, thank you for letting me on. I'm so glad that you didn't close. Like, I want this space to close out with a bang. Are you ready? You're not ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, hold on. I'm about to drop this. I'm dropping it in the bubble right now. Everybody, I'm gonna drop this free movie. It's a free movie for right now. You guys are getting a free preview. Okay. It's in the bubble. It's in the bubble now. It's in the bubble right now. And let me see. Try to repost it. I'm gonna post it. My name is Louis. I'm gonna post it on my timeline. You'll see me as alias because this is in fact my alias account. Anyhow, so the movie that I just posted for everybody, it's called Everything Wrong with the Capitol Riots in 889 Angles. Baked Alaska, who I think is in here right now, happens to be one of the co-stars of the movie. Really, really, really interesting movie. Baked, have you seen it?
Well, I don't know if you can.
Wait, hold on. Baked. I don't think Baked's up, man. Okay, so like, long story short, was one really bad scripted and acted and produced movie. There's this movie that's right now, it's in the bubble, and it really like lays out like literally everything. Who would have thought that the would you have thought of it? I wouldn't have thought it. I would have never in my wildest imagination.
I've never thought that.
Well, you should, because it's true and it's irrefutable. And the where I posted it, who I posted it from, that movie's about. It's such a spoiler. Okay, so you guys got about 20 to 48 hours to watch the movie. Save it for cold storage because it's going to come in really, really important for some of y'all's friends who don't want to get in trouble for this shit. But then it's going to be already in the theaters. It is already set. Tickets have already been bought.
Well,
yes.
I appreciate you.
No, you don't appreciate me. I don't think. Wait. It has everything to do. It has everything to do with what we're talking about. Everything. Look, I promised you that we were going to go out tonight with a very interesting. You know what? It was. This drunken fool was not allowed to hold the switch open this long, just for y'all to go
What drunken
go to
fool?
sleep. I don't think most out to sleep because you've put lions through me through a lot of different things. A lot of different things. Look, I come in peace. First and foremost, I really hope that everybody finds Jesus Christ really quickly. Really, really quickly. The most important thing right now that you should be worried about is whether or not your name was written in the Lamb's Book of Life before the foundation of the earth. You understand me? The very first thing, Baked Alaska. I saw you laugh, but you know what? The very first thing everybody should be concerned about right now was your name written in the Lamb's Book of Life before the foundation of the earth. Because if it's not, oh, you have no idea what is coming for you. Every knee is going to bow before Jesus Christ. Baked Alaska, it is so funny that you are laughing because you pretend to be a Christian. You know what? I got you. I got Trannis. I got Help Stop Hate. All of you guys. This movie, Baked Alaska, do you understand that you are the subject of a movie that is going to be in theaters? You can't stop this. This is what they meant by
Okay, so
where
how
one
many
of us
theaters?
goes.
Because
Hold
you
on,
know,
hold on.
unless you have at least
Wait, 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 wait,
1,000 to 3,000 theaters, nobody's going to see it.
wait. Let me explain myself, please. Let me explain myself, please. Let me explain myself, please. This is what they meant by where one of us goes, all of us goes. One of us was watching all of it. One of us knew the contracts that were being made. One of us is a line producer. That's not going to mean much to most of y'all, but it means to the right people. One of us was a line producer. I'm going to teach the rest of the world what it means to be a line producer, what storytelling means.
Yeah, that's a standard job in Hollywood.
You guys, I promise you, you will never be on a more interesting space ever in your life than the one that you are on right now. Right now.
This is my space, not yours.
Baked Alaska. Oh my gosh, Baked Alaska is right now. He's so warm. They just call it a jacuzzi. Baked Alaska is sitting in a jacuzzi right now. Listen, you guys got to watch it. It's in it. Everything that is with the Capitol riots in 889 angles. 889 angles. 889 angles. 889 angles. You know what? There's 14,000 or so that are missing, but you know what's so fucking hilarious? There's these fucking stupid motherfuckers that call themselves Angry Fleas. They did all the work. They're the ones who did all the work. Angry Fleas, I hope you're in this room. Angry Fleas. You did all the work, Angry Fleas. I'm going to make sure, I didn't even thought about it, but when this movie rolls, you're going to be executive producer, Angry Fleas. Oh, yeah, thumbs down, bitch. Nothing you can do to stop it. This is what they meant. You all thought, y'all.
Metokur is an old dying coward who won't let me on his show. I think I made some salient points. Of course, you know, it's a shit show as always, right? And so, you know, we did what we could. We did what we could. I thought we had some good guests. I thought we had some good entertainment. And I really don't have anything else to say. I do know that Richard Spencer is going to do, is interested in doing a debate on Ukraine and Russia with Boneface. Boneface versus Captain Desariak. We're going to have Dick Masterson on here in a couple days. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on. I took the day off because I already knew what it was gonna be, quite frankly, and like why even participate in that? Because like you already know they're not gonna let me in the first place. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. I had fun. And I hope you'll check out the kill stream tomorrow. And I think I'm gonna do one tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. But I reserve the right to take the Sunday off just because. But we'll see. I'll be back. I hope you enjoyed it. I wonder if I can even figure out. Oh, there is an end button here. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, I can't fucking adjust that. Wow. It's my phone.